Yeah, thank you very much, Marco, for your great work and this fantastic conference here in Zurich, and your commitment to Zurich for the last time this year, unfortunately, but really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's my pleasure to give you an introduction to the Swiss Stock Exchange, the national stock exchange here in Switzerland. And please allow me to start with this slide here. Today marks quite a historical day for Switzerland, an important day for Switzerland. We have the federal elections, which are currently ongoing, and just literally 5 minutes ago, we had the first de-SPAC transaction that took place here in Switzerland. So my colleagues just texted me that everything went well. We have RNS Group, that's a company which produces electric infrastructure components for power transformers, merged successfully with the one and only SPAC that we had in Switzerland, that we have so far in Switzerland, called VT5. And they agreed on a purchase price of 274 million Swiss francs. And this all happened now 2 years after SPACs got allowed or permitted to listing and trading in Switzerland. You can see here a bit the timeline, how that worked. RNS Group is the only real IPO we had this year in Switzerland. As you know, the IPO market is still quite muted. We had in October another quite sizable transaction, a spin-off from Novartis, Sandoz. Usually we do have in Switzerland, like on average, 6 to 8 IPO transactions, rather sizable transactions. But we're convinced that once the IPO window opens up again, IPOs will become important, will become interesting also for smaller companies. You can see here on that slide the various reasons why an IPO can make sense for a company, and also the past transactions that took place with the name of the company just next to it. So ranging really from marketing effect, of course, to broaden your shareholder base. You can use the shares as an acquisition currency for takeovers. Of course, it's always an exit, and something that always goes down well with investors is, of course, financing growth. So issuing new shares, primary shares, and then use the proceeds to finance your growth, and preferably you do so then in Switzerland. And we believe that in Switzerland you get very good conditions to do so. Of course, Switzerland, politically, economically, very stable. This won't change also today after today's elections, I'm pretty sure. It's tax-friendly and provides good prerequisites for companies to grow in Switzerland. Private and listed companies. We do have on our exchange a quite fast listing process, which can de-risk your IPO. And of course, Switzerland is known for its leading financial sector with strong placement resources here with the local banks. When you IPO on an exchange like the Swiss Stock Exchange with such a high reputation, you benefit from a lot of visibility. You are one of 6 to 8 companies, as I said, and not like one of 100 companies to go public. So you will receive a lot of media coverage, analyst coverage, and such an IPO then also paves the way for you to be included in world-leading indices like the SMI, SPI, etc., etc. And of course, you get access to substantial pools of capital, Swiss investors, wealthy Swiss investors, institutional investors, but also international investors that are looking to invest in companies which are denominated in a stable currency like the Swiss franc. And there was just a study done by the SECO here in Switzerland that showed that actually over 30% of the known voting rights here in the SPI, the Swiss Performance Index, are held by US investors. So the Swiss Stock Exchange, if you compare that a bit with other exchanges here in Europe, is number 3 before Frankfurt in terms of free float market capitalization. It's behind London and behind the multi-country exchanges of Euronext. But if you put that in relation then to the free float market cap, you can see that Switzerland, or SIX, is leading the table by far, and this shows the importance of the Swiss capital market, the financial market here in Switzerland. So companies benefit from very good conditions, as we've seen, and this is also reflected then in the premias. So Swiss companies are traded at a premium valuation, also compared to other exchanges in various sectors, ranging from building materials over to food, hearing aid, and medtech, but also the overall market. Swiss Performance Index actually is traded at a premium compared to the S&P. So good prerequisites here for companies when they go public to know that your peers are actually traded at a premium valuation. So we believe that Switzerland has sufficient scale. There is a lot of potential. There are a lot of emerging scale-ups, growth companies that are about to get ready to enter, to go public, to do an IPO, to conduct an IPO. And for us as the stock exchange, the National Stock Exchange here in Switzerland, it's of course important to be able to capture that coming wave of high-profile scale-ups and make sure that when they want to go public in Switzerland, that they can do so and don't need to go abroad. So there are companies that will achieve or that will succeed in meeting the requirements for the main market, but there are others that might not. And for those, we invented a new stock exchange segment for SMEs, for scale-ups that have a market capitalization from 100 to 500 million Swiss francs. We do have the aim there to build up an ecosystem of listed companies where they are listed among peers, where they benefit from more visibility instead of just being listed in one main market with the big ones. And so we believe that this creates added value to these companies. So it's very important for you to know that the companies that go public, they're on this Spark segment. They enter into a regulated stock exchange segment. It's not a multilateral trading facility, which you might know from other European stock exchanges, growth markets. So your shares are really listed and not only admitted to trading. So you get access to also institutional investors in Switzerland. The requirements are lower than on the main market. They're comparable to the requirements that you get that are asked for companies on other European growth markets. And we differentiate a bit to the main market with a different trading window, a shortened trading window. So the benefit, of course, for emerging scale-ups, SMEs, is you benefit from fast and efficient access to capital raising. For instance, you can issue new shares of up to 20% of your outstanding share capital without having to issue a listing prospectus, so quite efficient. You can access these deep pools of capital. And then for the sell side, for PE and VC investors, of course, it's another option, provides more flexibility. And yeah, especially also in a dual track, it increases your deal security, puts you in a better negotiation position, and increases the price. So we launched the segment, and with the segment, we also launched various ancillary services around it. One I'd like to mention here is the Sparks IPO Academy. This is a 6-month high-exclusive educational program for scale-ups, for SMEs that want to know more, that want to learn more about IPOs, what it takes, so they can run through this 6-month program, which usually starts in October, lasts until May, and always kicks off with a kickoff event in person. Then our online elements, and then also the possibility for these companies to get in touch with public investors and showcase their equity story, etc. So the goal for us, of course, is to build up a funnel of potential IPO candidates here in Switzerland, and there are some companies that you might know which are listed here on that slide. These are companies that went already through the program, that are currently in the 3rd cohort. Over 40 companies have already run through that program. And if you are interested for yourself if you want to know more about the Sparks segment, about the Swiss Stock Exchange in general, or the Sparks IPO Academy. You can scan that QR code here, but you can also visit us at our booth. We have a booth just next to the entrance, and we are here as well the 2 days and organize an IPO workshop later that afternoon. And yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you all, and thank you very much for your attention, and have a great conference. Thank you.